Happy Wednesday, everyone. So, was it just a speech, or will they really impeach? But first, what's the latest on the Biden crime family? Yeah, pretty good. Specifically, Commander, the new first family dog whose taste for human flesh rivals the cast of Outnumbered. You didn't know that, did you? Anyway, the first dog they got for publicity purposes, Major, had to hit the road for biting. He was part German Shepherd and part Brian Stelter. Of course, Joe accused one Secret Service agent of lying about being bitten. At least we know the teeth weren't Joe's. He keeps them in a jar on top of the nightstand. Nonetheless, Major was replaced by Commander, who is now biting people. Commander bit 7 people over a 4-month period, including 2 Secret Service agents and a worker at Biden's Delaware home. But hey, you'd be a cranky dog, too, if they kept blaming you for the messes that Joe leaves on the carpet. Oh, you're terrible. Okay, I'll take it. But that's only the 8th or 9th worst thing that happened to the Biden White House this week. And now House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is using the I word. That's impeachment. Meanwhile, Joe's degenerate crackhead son is embroiled in one fiasco after another, and Joe is in the middle of most of them. So like my immense talent, it's becoming too much to hide anymore. There's Burisma, the energy company that hired Hunter for his expertise using butane to heat up his crack pipes. And there's the shady fine art scam. Some broad buys a picture of special ed art by a moron and then gets a plum assignment at a prestigious commission. If that's not a quid pro quo, I'm unattractive. And we know that's not true. There's Joe's 7th granddaughter, who he still won't acknowledge. I could go on, but I don't want to bore you like Jesse Waters. Because that's his job.
Why did the CIA lie to the voters before the last election about the laptop? Why did the FBI censor the laptop? Why were IRS investigators prevented from pursuing leads against Joe Biden? Why did the Biden family constantly get tipped off? Why were search warrants blocked? Why do you set up 24 shell companies if you have a legitimate business? What is the Biden family business?
That's the most impressive thing he's ever done. And he once read a book. But that's a clear case for impeachment. And what does Joe have to say about all this? Finally, we know how to get him to shut up. Either that or he crapped his pants and was running to the bathroom. So they lie, cheat, steal, launder. They exploit the office. Oh, wait, sorry. I'm getting word that the president cured cancer.
I said I'd cure cancer. They looked at me like, why cancer? Because no one thinks we can. That's why, and we can. We'd end the cancer as we know it.
Forget everything I said. He cured cancer. Story's over. But there's bigger news. After his plea deal fell apart, Hunter pled not guilty today to federal tax and gun charges. It happened after the judge wouldn't promise immunity from future prosecutions, including foreign lobbying. But leave it to cringe to dodge questions about Hunter. I wonder if she's been asked this question multiple times and if nothing has changed.
I was asked this question multiple times on Monday. Nothing has changed. As I stated on Monday, when I was asked this question multiple times, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed on this. Nothing has changed on this. And so you could ask me a million different ways on this question. Nothing has changed.
Other things that haven't been changed, her incompetence. If I was this bad at my job, I'd be fired or at least become Judge Janine's driver. Meanwhile, the judge also threatened his legal team with sanctions after they allegedly tried to get testimony from IRS whistleblowers removed by impersonating lawyers for the House GOP over the phone. I mean, who are these lawyers? The Jerky Boys? Wow, I know, that's a callback. So, impeachment or not, the stench of corruption rivals the View's bathroom on Taco Tuesday. Speaking of, I wonder what The View had to say.
What bribery scam?
Yes.
How much punishment does Biden need because he won? and they lost.
Well, that's the problem. They keep seeing these indictments coming down from Trump, and they're like, humana, what are we going to do? Let's turn it around and make it about him, about Biden. Instead, take your eyes off of Trump, even though he's a criminal, and put your eyes on this guy.
Yeah, rather put. At least they got their looks. So, what about impeachment? Bill Clinton was impeached for putting his junk where it wasn't supposed to go, or was it his cigar? I can't remember. Either way, he lied about it under oath. But in retrospect, that seems as minor as the girls Joe likes to sniff. Hell, Bill didn't even leave any cocaine laying around the White House. It was a different sort of white stuff. But here's the thing. Thank you. But here's the thing. Donald Trump was impeached for just talking about the Burisma scandal. It only seems fair to impeach Joe for participating in the Burisma scandal. But I hate impeachments because it's all political team sport. Imagine in the Super Bowl, one coach could stop the game by suing the other coach for trying to win. And that's what they did to Trump. And the media loves it as long as it's a Republican on the spit. So I say, impeach away. They wasted our time, let's waste theirs. And it's deserved. Joe instructed his dirtbag son to make it rain in exchange for influence. If that's not another quid pro quo, I'm Perry Mason in a muumuu. But why stop there? Let's impeach everybody. Jill Biden insists on being called doctor. Has she ever set a broken bone? Nope. Her husband's a corpse, so at best she's a coroner. And what does she do if somebody in a movie theater has a heart attack and she hears, is there a doctor in the house? Does she stand up and say, yes, I'm a doctor of education. Would you like to hear my thoughts on mentoring and literacy? I say impeach her. And what about Kamala? She hasn't broken any laws that I know of because she hasn't done period. Her idea of a hard day's work is a few hours of cackling and then a nap. What about Mayorkas? He's let in more drug smugglers than my bachelor party. Mayor Pete? Hey, none of the transportation problems are his fault after all. He was on vacation. But hell, we could fill the next 3 months with impeachments. Because if you're going to get rid of Commander because he bites, get rid of this whole administration because they bite too. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's often recognized on the streets and under park benches too. Actor, writer, and comedian Jamie Lissow. He's the best Canadian import since billowing clouds of wildfire smoke. Professor and author of the book, The Sad Truth About Happiness, Gad Sad. She's pluckier than Nancy Pelosi's eyebrows. Fox News contributor, Kat Tiff. And finally, he rules between the ropes and won't tolerate dopes. My massive sidekick in the NWA's World Heavyweight Champion, Tyrus. Jamie, as everybody knows, you live in Alaska. Do you follow what goes on in America?
Yep. As soon as I get here.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is just coming in. It turns out the president misspoke. He did not cure cancer. He got rid of a canker sore. He's very sorry. He's very sorry. I thought it was very funny the thing he did about the Dr. Jill Biden, because that's really true. Like in a movie theater, people should be more specific. They shouldn't go, is there a doctor in the house? They should be like, is there a doctor that could help in the house?
Exactly.
Because what if you go, is there a doctor in the house? This guy's like, I'll help you. And then he's like, I'm a foot doctor. And then I'll massage your feet while you die.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the dog store. I like that they call it the first dog.
Right.
Isn't that kind of cool, like the White House dog? Because did you know they can't call it the first bitch, because that was taken when Bill Clinton was president. I think it's cool that Hunter has a dog-sniffing dog. You know it's a drug-sniffing dog?
Really?
But not like one that works for the cops, just one that will do cocaine with him. One last thing, the painting thing is amazing to me that Hunter sold. Was it like $1.3 million? Right. Don't you think this is like a really expensive version of telling your kids they're good at drawing?
Yes.
Yeah. But some of them are pretty cool. Like some of them are like interactive. Mm-hmm. Like I saw one guy snort the snow off of a mountaintop.
Yes. All right. Gad, congrats on the book. Can we show the cover there? Look at the cover. It looks like a man talking to a 12-year-old boy saying, I'm going to be your new daddy.
Uh-oh. That never works out.
I know. Your mother and I deeply love each other. You can still see your original dad, but you answer to me now. The sad truth about happiness. So good to hear. Isn't that weird that your name influences the things that you do?
Exactly.
Your name is Sad, when you end up writing a book about happiness. That's very strange.
You know that in Arabic, sad means happiness and felicity.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I was meant to write this book.
Wow. I know. My name's Gutfeld, and I have so many stomach issues. I'm not kidding. My whole life is about intestinal distress. It's amazing I can make it through a show. What do you make it go? Do you have president? You're in Canada, right? You have a president.
Prime Minister.
Prime Minister. Can we impeach him from America?
I'd like to impeach him from the universe.
Yeah, I know.
But speaking of corruption, when we first moved from Lebanon to Canada, my dad was constantly receiving a lot of parking tickets. And so he went around trying to look for the cop that he could grease so that he would never receive a parking ticket. And when people explained to him that that's not how it's done in Canada, his answer was, what kind of barbaric country is Canada? And so what happens is that corruption becomes an endemic part of the cultural values of a society. So it amazes me that now in the United States, I actually went through the Corruption Perceptions Index, which ranks every country. US is now number 24 out of 180. If he gets a second term, they're going to head towards Somalia, which is in number 180.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And who's number one? Do you know?
it's one of the Scandinavian countries. Finland,
They don't count,
Norway.
though.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, it's Scandinavia. I mean, I don't even know what that is. Scandinavia, is that one country or like 5? I mean, if you have to go as a group together to a party, that's kind of lame. Anyway, I'll shut up about Scandinavia. They don't air the show here, Kat, so what do I care? Are you pro-impeachment or anti-impeachment?
Well, look, I think that it was pretty clear what was going on. It's been pretty clear what's been going on this entire time. I think that this plea deal, when they said, has there ever been anything like this before?
Yeah.
And everyone was like, no. I don't know how it's not clear that there's one main difference here, what's going on, and that he's the president's son. But also, I'm sure that Hunter was very shocked that this didn't work out for him.
Right.
Everything always does.
Does.
Once you get your dead brother's widow to agree to date you,
Yeah.
and you convince your dad to go to the press and say not only is it okay, but he's actually happy for you, you must think you could convince anyone of anything.
Yeah.
And then going back to that, in what universe are you calling your dad to be like, hey, Dad, can you please tell everyone how it is actually good that I'm having an affair with my dead brother's widow, and not say, hey, Dad, so I have a question about work?
Yeah.
Would that be too personal? Obviously, he was talking to him about it, and the White House has also changed, being like, oh, he wasn't in business with him, when before they were saying he wasn't talking to him about it. So I think that everybody knows they're doing crimes.
Yeah. They're a crime syndicate. Tyrus, I want to ask you, because you have many pets. What's going on with the dog?
Nothing's wrong with the dog, and I'm glad you brought this up because that's all I was focused on. I was actually pissed. Dogs are reflections of their owners, just like kids are. So are we surprised at all that his dogs are attacking everyone? His son is robbing everyone, and his dog's biting everyone because he's a bad dog owner and a bad parent and a bad president. And he's just all around bad. But it's not the dog's fault. They don't socialize the dogs. So that's why the dogs do that bad behavior because, well, I mean, he probably forgets he even has the damn dog. So.
Yeah.
He's still
It's a little hairy guy that he met.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel bad for the dogs.
Yeah.
And the Secret Service agents, because these are really nice Secret Service agents, because back in the day, you would have heard, "Rrr, bang."
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, hey, if it was me, dog bites me once. Shame on you. Twice, fur coat.
That's funny.
Tyrus is so right that dogs are a reflection of their owners. I remember when my wife left, my dog followed her.
Because he knew she'd keep feeding him.
All right, we got to move on. Very sad.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.